Hey, how you guys doing? IVX. Yeah, I got something real cool to show you. It is a hidden track. I've been seeing a lot of them lately, and so I decided to make my own. And yeah, this one is really fast. Um, so this extra detector rail is only if you want it to, but you don't actually need it. But it does keep the door open longer. So go ahead and do this real quick. So you can see it's really fast. Pretty much can handle whatever speed that you're going. And then it also works without you. That's what the second track is actually for. If you're traveling at really low speeds, you'll need the second one to give it basically a pulse lengthen. So yeah, let's look at the redstone. Let me go ahead and divert this track so this stops running. There we go. Just watch it for the hell of it. Alright, so this is the actual redstone. So the dimensions of this is from right to left, it's 10 blocks that way, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 tall, and then width is 1 wide. So that's not counting the inputs or anything, but the actual circuit is 1 wide. So yeah, let's go ahead and make it. So basically you're going to need to dig a 1 by 3, I'm sorry, 1 wide by 3 down by 10 long hole. And then you're going to want to put a block here, make a little steps with 3 blocks like that. Repeater, redstone this up like that, torch, block on top of it, 2 sticky pistons, just like that. You're going to want to put a block here, and then repeater, sticky piston, block on top of it, and then right here you'll need to bring this out like that. And then 2 repeaters like that, 2 pieces of redstone, and then a block, and then 1 block up above that. And then that is going to be where our add-in block is going to be. It's going to push the track in for us, and it needs redstone behind it. And so underneath here, you only need these blocks, but I put this one in for visual so that you don't see anything. And this is the actual doorway itself. So that would be where we'd be driving our minecarts in. Yeah, so at this point, I didn't make this to actually work with power rails or anything. The piston underneath it would actually get updated, so you definitely want to just use normal tracks like that, at least for the first section. Alright, so this is the input for it. Basically put repeater there on both sides. These are basically symmetrical, so yeah. So anyway, I marked this out to give us a really good length, so it doesn't matter how far your track is, but you definitely, it does need to be a certain length. So, I intended this to be on a longer track, but you can use it in, minimum distance of that. So what we need to do now is just put our detector rail inputs, which is here. And the length of this is, you can see I came out 3, and then it's counting this air block, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 away. So 7 away from this track. And then you want to do the same thing on this side, just bring it up 3, and then count 7 out. Just basically make them symmetrical, and then put redstone on it. Connecting up the inputs. Then at this point you can adjust this for how fast the track is. So 7 away is pretty much, I found, is good for any spot, but if you want it to be closer because you're traveling faster, you can. You just have to adjust it. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and do regular tracks like that up to the 7th, which I would recommend. You definitely would want to do that. and then I'm going to do some power tracks just to simulate a really slow speed version of this. Because I'm thinking you probably wouldn't put your tracks, beyond 8. I'm thinking, something like 8. Every 8 tracks you'd have a power, so that's what this is going to be for. It's going to be to simulate if you were traveling at that speed. And so this would be where your detector rails go. And so you only need the second detector rail in, if you're actually traveling on this without a person on it, which I wouldn't think you'd be traveling, would need a hidden, dead end over here. So grab a minecart and we'll give it a little test. 7 should be good for any distance. Okay, I always forget that. Alright, so we do need to power these because they are power rails. So I'm going to just use levers, but normally you could just put a torch underneath, keep the video time down. Alright, so let's try it again. And as you can see that if you're traveling fast enough, it actually will hold itself open until you pass the second rail. And then to test it, I'm going to go ahead and add power on it. You can see that it didn't stay on long enough to actually work without a person. So if you did want to use this with a person, or without a person, sorry, about 3 away like that should fix it up. Should hold it open long enough. Okay, so we do need to bring it in just a little bit further. So yeah, we want to have it right on the corner there, and that should do it for us. So that should keep it open long enough. So the slower you travel, obviously the minecart without a person on it travels a lot slower. So if you were actually doing this, you would be traveling at a certain speed. That sucks. The minecart got in the way of it there. Let's try it one more time. If not, we're going to need 2 tracks here. Yeah. So if you were using this to actually send, for instance, I noticed that for people you could go every 8 and it's pretty fast, but you have to go every 6 if you don't have anything on it. So just need a little bit more speed on this. Let me get rid of this minecart. Try this again and we should see a big difference on it now. Should stay open long enough to let it through, which means we obviously would need more speed for this. Yeah, it's just barely cutting through there. So anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, I did actually make this for people. I didn't think you'd actually be riding this, by yourself. I figured it would be with, for people, hidden little track. So yeah, there's where the second track comes in handy, is that if you actually are doing this, like I was saying before, you have to adjust it based on how fast you're traveling. So I obviously had it set for that other minecart with nobody in it. So moving it back, the further you place this back, so if you're traveling at really high speeds, meaning let's just say you got power rails all over, you maybe have 1 or 2 of these and you're just going flat out, you can actually move these closer. It doesn't have to come out 7 blocks from the actual structure itself, and you could get away with that. So just to finish this off, let's make sure everything's cool on this. So this should be pretty much perfect for any speed. Alright, well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. You know, comment, like, and subscribe. Let me know what you think of this, and let me know how it works for you on your world, or whatever projects. Alright, have a good one. Later.